After our false start yesterday, we spent the night at anchor in Sydney Harbor. This morning, the wind's in our favor, and we've already cleared Sydney Heads.
Hey, Wayne, what are you doing?
We're sailing to Queensland.
Now we can point Wildflower north for her long ride up the coast to the Whitsunday. Today, it's just us boys, Wayne, Brett, and me. Maxine has to stay at home and get on with work. She'll fly up to join me in a month when we sail into Airlie Beach.
Wayne's got the sail set up. The wind's at our back.
The first leg of our journey is a 3-day non-stop sail to Southport on the Gold Coast. Being a Ranga, Wayne knows the importance of sun protection.
Have you got any more? I don't think I put enough on.
You know, on sunny days, it's really important to wear your sunscreen.
Dan's been battling with skin cancer for a long time, so I made him promise that he would use sunscreen and he'd make the boys use it.
I'll need terps at the end of the day to get this crap off. It's like paint. Thanks, Dan, for supplying the sunscreen.
Quit clowning around.
Is this what you do with your leftover paint after doing the ceiling, is it?
For the first couple days, we clip along at 7 knots. We're on 3-hour watches, which means you're always tired. Thankfully, every now and then, something fun comes along.
There it goes. We just saw our first whale. They're migrating north this time of year. This one has a pretty stinky smell when he blows. Either that or the fact that Wayne hasn't showered in 4 days. There he is, I got him. Sunrise is coming up. It's absolutely beautiful out here. And some of us wear our safety gear, some of us don't.
That's me.
If he falls over, I'm not jumping in to save his ass.
We make good time, and on day 5, the boys and I arrive at Queensland's glamour capital, the Gold Coast. Famous for its glittering skyscrapers and that perfect stretch of beach, known as Surfer's Paradise. At Southport Marina, Brett leaves us to fly home to Tasmania. At this point in the fantasy, Wayne and I should be drinking cold beers at the yacht club. But the reality is, I'm up to mast fixing a steaming light.
I can see that this boat, as good as it is, it's going to take some maintenance. Yeah, I'm preparing myself for that because I'm not the kind of guy that likes to work on stuff.
We spend a day and a half at Southport restocking the boat. Then Wayne and I are back out to sea.
We just been sailing all night, and we're watching the sun rise, and it's a bit overcast and cloudy. We've got a wind that's coming from behind us, and waves coming from the side and behind.
The dolphins like surfing too, shooting through the water like torpedoes.
Just rounding Cape Morton, and then to Mooloolaba.
Mooloolaba is on the Sunshine Coast, 100 k's north of Brisbane. There's bad weather on the way, so we've tucked in here to wait it out.
We're in this really kind of bizarre place called Mooloolaba. Looks like a suburb, and we're parked in people's backyards.
3 days later, we're still sitting here.
The weather's still bad. We're hoping it's going to clear tomorrow. Starting to miss Maxine. It's been hard the last few days sitting in port because I wanted to do this trip with her. Yeah, now that she's not here, it's kind of a pain.
It's not that we can't sail in this kind of weather. We can. But if we did, we'd have a problem further north when we tried to cross the Wide Bay Bar into the Sandy Strait, because you can't get across that bar when the seas are rough.
Being on the hook in somebody's backyard is...
After 5 days, the weather finally clears, and we can cut loose.
Well, we're at sea, and we're leaving Mooloolaba. It's behind us.
Wayne and I have settled into a rhythm of 4-hour watches. But I gotta be honest with you, so far, cruising is a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Sit for hours and hours and hours just looking out there. Quite hard to be on watch. There's not much to do.
It's not helping that my first mate's not here with me.
Missing Maxine, wish she was here. Can't wait till she's on the boat. She just makes it feel different. A woman's touch. A woman's touch, that's what the boat needs.
Every day I'm looking at the map, seeing where they are, and it's really hard knowing they're going further north, and I'm stuck at work. I'm really missing Dan. I know he's missing me, and it's just not the same, not being together.
To make things worse, a routine engine check suggests we have serious mechanical issues.
We had a little problem with the sail drive. Looks like it's got a little bit of water in the oil, actually, so we might have a bad seal. If that's the case, we may have to yank the boat out of the water.
When I was checking the sail drive oil and I saw that it was foamy, I was sick in my stomach. I thought, oh, great. Here goes the first big problem.
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it until we get to Bundaberg. And in order to get there, we have to cross the notoriously shallow Wide Bay Bar and motor up through the Great Sandy Strait.
We put the sails away and we're gonna drive across the bar. They were just fluttering, winds died down, and needed engine power anyways to get across it.
The Wide Bay Bar can be quite dangerous, and many boats have sunk trying to cross it at the wrong time.
We actually have to turn soon, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, I would go a little further like he did when he came out.
The good news is our long stop over in Mooloolaba, waiting for the weather to improve, has paid off.
We're inside the Sandy Strait now. We made it. It's a very good ride, actually. A little lumpy, but that's good for this place because it's normally standing up pretty big.
The Sandy Strait is basically a big estuary, separating the mainland from Fraser Island, the biggest sand island in the world. It's quite a narrow passage and very shallow, and I'll tell you what, I'm glad that Wayne is at the helm, because for a rookie like me, this passage would be impossible. It'll take us a day to navigate up through the Sandy Strait before it dumps us into Harvey Bay. It's a place I've been before to photograph whales. They come here to rest while they're migrating. It's a beautiful spot and a great place for a race.
Wayne and I have been in an imaginary race all day with about 5 other boats that left the cove we were anchored in last night at about the same time.
Whenever sailors see another sailboat and going to the same place, for some reason it always turns into a race.
Hey Wayne, are we winning the race?
We've got 2 boats ahead of us and we're gaining on them. And then there's that guy with the Moody. I think it's a Moody. He came up behind us like we were standing still. And then we reckon he had his engine on. And then he's turned his engine off. We've pulled away. We're competitive. Fast boat.
Well, we caught the 2 boats ahead of us, and we were the first ones into Bundaberg. But again, there's no time for cold beers. We've got to deal with the sail drive problem.
The only way to deal with water in the sail drive oil now is to hand pump it out.
It's a slow process. We're trying to get the oil out of the bottom of the leg. This is an alternative to having to pull the boat out of the water and drain the sludgy oil out.
And then we'll add fresh oil, and we'll have to continue to do this until I get to Able Point Marina, where we can pull the boat out of the water and have the seals change.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but we're getting there. I think Wayne enjoys when the boat breaks down because it gives him something to fix. Whereas me, I'd prefer to be drinking margaritas, but look at him, he's got a big smile on his face. I love this. He loves mucking around with this shit. I just want to be outside getting a tan and with a cocktail in my hand.
If not a cocktail in my hand, at least a fishing rod. Next, island hopping.
Nectar of the tropics. Need some rum.
And later, Maxine joins the party.
The Admiral has stepped onto the ship.
Yay!